Hello, algebra students. I want to work through some of the review problems with you before we take the test on Tuesday. So I'm just getting my screen set up here. Um, your homework from last week, topic one, linear equations and inequalities review, is that test review. So here's the first question. If you follow the link in Google Classroom for Topic 1, Linear Equations and Inequalities Review, your question 1 and my question 1 may look different, but that's okay. We're going to approach them with the same strategies. And those strategies include viewing each of our numbers as a decimal. So while we look at this, you may notice that -6 is already written in a way that can be a decimal. We can make that -6.0. -1.94 also is written in such a way that we don't need to make any changes to it. 4.21, same thing. That's already a decimal. This -5 times the square root of 3, though, we need to change that, and we need to change the 4/5. So I'm going to come over here to my scientific calculator. This will be very similar to how you enter things on the yellow calculators in class, but I'm going to find my negative button. Remember, on your calculator in class, the negative is that minus sign with the parentheses around it. So you want to make sure you are paying attention to that. So -5 times the square root of 3 gives me, oops, hold on, -8.660. That 0 tells me to keep the 6 the way it is, so I'm going to write down -8.66. Okay, so this one becomes -8.66. And now 4/5, I'm going to clear this out and do the numerator divided by the denominator. And that gives me 0.8. So 0.8 is my 4/5. So now I need to look at this and decide, okay, which of these is the smallest? So I'm going to be doing a comparison on my number line. So remember, 0 is in the middle. All of my negative numbers are toward the left, and the positive numbers are toward the right. So here I'm going to look at my negative numbers. I have -6, -1.94, and -8.66. This one is the furthest. So if I want to write the numbers in decreasing order, this is my smallest, not the biggest. So this one's going to be like way over here. So that's my -0.866. The next one then is -6 because that is between 0 and -8. So that's right about here. And then 1.94, -1.94 is just a little bit before you get to 2. So that's my -1.94. And then we move into our positives. Okay, so we took care of the 3 negatives. Now 0.8 is just a little bit more than 0. And then I have 4.21, which is going to be like over here. Okay, so now I have them on my number line from the smallest to the biggest. So if I want to write these in descending order, my -8.66, that's the same thing as my -5√3, is going to be the absolute smallest. The 4.21 is my biggest. Okay, so descending order means from biggest to smallest. So I want this 4.21 to come first, and that's option B. So then we'll just work through 4.21, 0.8, that's my 4/5, negative 1.94, negative 6, negative 5 root 3. There we go. Okay, and then we can check our answer. Fantastic. Question 2 continues with solving equations. So remember our process. We need to simplify first, and that means look to see if we can distribute anything, if we can combine like terms, or if we need to get variables onto the same side of our equal sign. Step 2 then is undo your constants, and step 3 is undo your coefficients. So let's look at this equation. 12 equals 7x plus 6 minus 4x. Now I do have like terms here. I've got my negative 4x and my 7x on the same side. So I am going to rewrite the left side as 12. I'm going to combine my 7x minus 4x to get 3x plus 6. No change to that 6. So that was step 1, simplify first. Step 2, undo your constants. So my constant here is plus 6. I am going to undo adding 6 by subtracting 6 from both sides. And we get 12 minus 6 equals 6, and 3x remains. The last step is undo our coefficients. My coefficient here is 3 being multiplied to the x. So 3 times x, we undo multiplication with division. So I will divide both sides by 3, and we get x equals 6 divided by 3, which is 2. So then I take my answer, type it into the box, x equals 2, check my answer, and fantastic. Our third example takes us a little bit deeper. We have 4 times the quantity 3x plus 9 equals negative 50 plus 74. Now here, that's step 1, simplify first. We do need to distribute something. We are going to start by distributing our 4. So 4 times 3x and 4 times 9. So we get 4 times 3x is 12x, and 4 times positive 9 is positive 36. That is the new left side. Okay, on the right side, we are going to combine like terms. We have a negative 50 and a positive 74. We are adding 74 to negative 50. These are opposing signs. If you need to use your calculator to help you out, feel free. Negative 50 plus 74 gives us positive 24. Now we have simplified both sides of our equation, so the next thing I am going to do is undo my constant. I am going to undo positive 36, adding 36 here, by undoing it with subtraction. So I am going to subtract 36 from both sides, and we get 12x equals negative 12. Now let's undo our coefficient. We are multiplying by 12, so we are going to divide both sides by 12, and we get x equals negative 1. Let's check our answer. So if I type that in here and I get negative 1, there we go. Okay, our fourth example, we are going to look at an equation that we can simplify, or we can use our fraction rules. Either way, we should end up in the same spot. So I have 3/4 times x minus 1/2 equals 7. Now, if you notice, here we have a denominator of 4 and a denominator of 2. I can eliminate my denominators by multiplying all the numerators by my least common denominator. 4 is a number that 2 and 4 both go into. So if I choose to multiply my entire equation by 4, I'm going to distribute that into my numerator all the way across. So I get 4 times 3 divided by 4x minus 4 times 1 divided by 2 equals 4 times 7. Now, if I have 4 over 4, that divides out. 4 over 2 reduces to 2. So I have 3x minus 2 times 1, which is 2. And then 4 times 7 is 28. So solving 3/4 x minus 1/2 equals 7 becomes 3x minus 2 equals 28. And that's a lot easier to work with. I can undo my constant by adding 2 to both sides of my equation, and we get 3x equals 30. Then I can undo my coefficient by dividing both sides by 3, and we get x equals 10. Okay, so let's type that in and verify our answer. There we go.